Hello, YouTube. So it's Monday, September 5th, 11:13 p.m., 2022, by the way. I'm on my way to Amazon. Probably taking off a little earlier than I need to, but Priscilla's kind of taking up most of the space on my bed with her clothes on, so just couldn't really do anything in there, so may as well just head out. Wow, that's interesting. Check it out. There's a random ladder just sitting here in the alley. It looks like the kind of ladder that would go over an above ground pool. Part of me wants to put that in my storage unit when I get back home. I don't know what the hell I think I need it for. I just think it's neat. It's a ladder. Alright, so if you're wondering why I'm headed to work at after 11 p.m., by the way, it's Labor Day. Thought I'd throw that out. Amazon decided, and they gave us like no notice about it either. Like everybody found out when they went into work yesterday, which I guess is a good thing I went into work yesterday. Like had I taken yesterday off and come in today, I would have got there at 7 o'clock to an empty warehouse and had no idea what the hell was going on. I mean, I don't know, I guess KRB 3 was open, so I would have been able to go in and talk to security and they would have told me what was up, but still. I wish they'd make these decisions like ahead of time instead of at the last minute. But anyway, what they decided to do was same thing they did for July 4th. It's like, oh look, you get the holiday off. You know, kind of look when a holiday that's like a paid holiday shows up on my schedule. I don't really do anything for holidays. You know, I don't have any immediate family that I live with. I'm a fairly antisocial person who spends most of his time alone. So like I'm not having, doing anything with my family. I mean, my family consists of me, a daughter who's moved away to live with her boyfriend halfway across the country in Oregon, and another daughter that I haven't seen in 2.5 years because her mother's disappeared with her. So it's just me. So yeah, like doing something, a holiday is just a day where businesses aren't open, and I'm generally inconvenienced by that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working the full shift and getting time and a half whenever that's an option. I want that, definitely. So kind of disappointed that they've decided to do a replay of what they did for July 4th and closing for like half the day, where day shift gets half a day off and night shift gets half a day off, because for me, being someone who works night shift, what that ends up doing is I'm going into work at 11:55 p.m. So basically, I'm trying to keep myself amused throughout the evening until damn near midnight. But since I'm going to work in a warehouse at 5 minutes to midnight, I don't have the option of like going out and drinking or doing anything that I would want to do with a day off. So it's not really a day off. It's just less hours that I get holiday pay. And I'm sure ultimately that's what it's about. Saving Amazon on payroll. It's like, oh, we pay time and a half. Well, actually, we're going to cut your hours so you don't really get that 10 hours of time and a half, because we won't pay that. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos has the largest yacht in the world and a giant penis-shaped rocket. So, good for him. So for the most part, I just slept today. Kind of a notable day for me. Today was the first day that Priscilla actually slept at her own place. And consequently, I slept really good since she wasn't there distracting me or keeping me awake, which was really nice. Looking forward to a lot more of that. I don't know. For me, I'm one of those kind of guys that unless I'm sleeping with a woman and she's naked and there's periodic bedroom fun throughout the night, I'd rather sleep alone. There was a time where I liked sleeping with my significant other, but that time passed many years ago. At this point, I'd rather sleep alone. And pretty much all times that I've had where I've been sleeping with a significant other, I mean, we've both been sleeping naked and with occasional sleepy time activities throughout the night. That just doesn't happen with Priscilla anymore. So at this point, it's just somebody that's taking up too much space in my bed that makes me not sleep very well because she snores or farts or is just taking up so much of the bed I can't get comfortable. And in the event I do wake up and I'm feeling kind of frisky, I touch on her. A, she's got clothes on. Really? Why are you wearing clothes to bed? And B, if she does wake up, it's to tell me, don't touch me. Good riddance. Spend more time in your apartment, in your bed. She did actually show up, I don't know what time, I want to say around 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock. Because I did wake up a little after 7. Now at one point I woke up kind of early in the afternoon, like I want to say maybe 12:30 in the afternoon, and she was texting me, and I texted her back, and we talked on the phone for a little bit, and she had said that that it was weird for her to actually spend the night in her place. Just kind of laughed about it, and I was surprised I woke up. I figured I'd sleep like a rock with her gone, but that ended up happening later. I forget what I put on. I put some kind of YouTube video on just for noise and fell asleep less than halfway through it. And just slept really soundly until I want to say maybe 7:30. So I guess it's a good thing that I didn't have to be to work at 7. Although I think if I'd have set my alarms, I'd have woke up. I did turn my alarms off. Since I knew I wasn't going into work till nearly midnight. And wow, I'm afraid I'm driving. I'm going to get there just way earlier than I need to. So maybe I should make a detour, give you all something interesting to see. Third day of the holiday weekend, so I expect it's going to be completely dead everywhere. I know when I did karaoke shows, when I used to do, my only karaoke show for quite some time has been Thursday nights at Bullock's. But back when I used to have a full schedule and do 4, 5, 6 shows a week, I would usually have a Monday show. And it wouldn't be unusual for my Monday show to be on the end of a 3-day weekend. Most of my Monday shows, they wouldn't be massively busy shows because they're Monday shows. Although for a long time I did Mondays at Gilligan's, and that show used to be pretty decent, just because it turned into kind of an unofficial Old Town Scottsdale industry night. So I had lots of waiters and waiters, waitresses, and bartenders and bar backs and cooks that would be their night off. That would be the night they go out. So that was actually a busy night. But yeah, the 3-day weekends. Monday nights would just be one of those nights where minimum staff were just kind of going through the motions. I was always relieved that I still got to work and still got paid for it because a lot of times those nights the bars would just be beyond dead empty. Just because, for most people, I think Labor Day weekend is one of those weekends where You know, I mean, granted, some people will stay in town, but they party more on Saturday night and Sunday night than they do, you know, on Monday night, because they got to be, you know, that makes Tuesday their functional Monday. So, yeah, and there's a lot of people, of course, like to get out of town. I mean, I saw I actually watched a live stream on Channel 10's YouTube channel on Saturday morning. Was live streaming the ADOT camera of I-17 near Daisy Mountain Road when you're heading out of Anthem, going up north, you know, going up further north towards New River, and then on up, you know, towards Flagstaff, and just the traffic on that was worse than rush hour morning traffic. It was insane. Just so many people trying to head up, you know, north of the valley for cooler temperatures for the weekend, which of course makes sense. I mean, if that's, you know, if you're on one of those 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, hey, I got a 3-day weekend kind of schedules, and you've got a car that's, you know, got air conditioning, and you know, you gotta take the family out to a thing like that. I mean, it's not really my thing, but I understand why people do it. And shoot, I just noticed I just drove by that American Legion Hall I was talking about on my video yesterday. Property looks completely unchanged, so whatever was being discussed at the Phoenix City Council, I haven't broke ground on it yet. Which is kind of wild they haven't broke ground on it yet, because that city council meeting that I was talking about was, Jesus, that would have been 3, maybe 4 years ago. Oh well, the wheels of progress move slow. So I just thought I'd do a little detour downtown. It's only 11:24 right now, and yeah, it's 11:24 right now, and no point in getting to work super early. So yeah, it's so weird, like going in at 11:55. This is the second time we did that on July 4th as well. And of course, the thing is, you don't get the holiday pay unless you clock in on Labor Day. So you got a 5-minute window to clock in. So yeah, you show up late on this day, you don't get your holiday pay. So I'm definitely going to get there. So I'm probably going to try to clock in. See if I can get away with clocking in like 5 minutes early, just to milk that time and a half as much as I can. So haven't heard from Rob all weekend. I did go to his shop. I keep saying I was going to give a narrative from like Thursday through Saturday, and it's already Monday, so it's pointless. I did mention it in another like video yesterday that yeah, I worked on music most of the day Saturday. Got a lot of songs added, mostly Death Cab for Cutie, some Debbie Gibson. I mentioned Good Times by David Lee Roth. Trying to remember the name of the karaoke channel that came from. It's one I've never added anything from. I think it's like Oglio Karaoke. I'm probably not even pronouncing it right. Anyway, I see somebody sleeping on the bus bench to the right. I think who else I added? There's another artist I know I added other than them. I mean, I could... Oh, nice. I love this song. Here comes my content match. Like this channel will ever be monetized. I can't even explain why, but this is one of my favorite Beastie Boys tracks of all time. I could probably recite this from a cappella from memory. 3 days on the road and now we're dying of thirst.
The brew was in my hand and he was on my tip. His voice was hoarse and throwing dry. He asked me for a sip. He said, can I get some?
I said, you can't get none.
I had a chance to run.
He pulled out a shotgun.
Quick on the draw.
I thought I'd be dead.
He put the gun to my head.
This is what he said.
My name is MCA. I got a license to kill. I think you know what time it is.
Dang, I got this down to one lane with the construction now. Crazy.
I run this lane, you understand? I've been myself clear. We stepped into the wind. He had a gun and had a grin. You think the story's over, but it's ready.
Boy, it's so wild seeing Rail right there to the right in front of the Supreme Court, or what do you call it, the Maricopa County Superior Court complex there. so many memories of these buildings. Yeah, like during my divorce and then after my divorce, and God, it was probably a 2-3 year period. I spent so much time in these courthouses, just being kind of a father's rights advocate. Got involved in this Arizona father's rights group, and then I was just doing so much fighting my own case, and I met a lot of guys in the group and started helping them with their cases. And so yeah, I was just in that courthouse all the time. Boy, this is crazy how they got these detours. The way they had that arranged, I wonder how many people end up going to the right and ending up on the rail. There weren't really arrows showing me to go to the left, and it looked just as easy to go to the right. It's kind of weird for me driving through here. I'm more accustomed to walking through this area. My name is Mike D, and I'm about to get money. Oh, Footprint Center. I said I got tickets coming up, or somebody got tickets for us to go see Smashing Pumpkins. The other artist that's at this, at the concert, is Jane's Addiction. Heard them on the radio. I'm like, oh yeah, that's who's opening for Pumpkins. Jane's Addiction, nice. Never actually seen Jane's Addiction live, so definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, as I expected, at 11, almost 11:30 at night. All right, that guy looks interesting. Almost 11:30 at night. Downtown Phoenix is pretty empty. Yeah, downtown Phoenix is not the hustling, bustling urban area that a lot of American cities are in the downtown area. I mean, I got to give City of Phoenix credit. I mean, they try. They've got all these sports stadiums down here. Like at the Footprint Center on the right, you know, where the Suns play. Originally America West Arena. Block further to the left is... I'm so burned out on that song. About a block to the left is, and if I'd have turned left, you could have seen it, is the, oh my God, I forget what the hell the baseball stadium's called now. It used to be the Bank One Ballpark. They changed names. Oh, Chase Field, where the Diamondbacks play. I hear they've been having trouble with attendance on their games lately. Heard attendance is way down for them. Although from what I've been hearing, attendance is down for MLB all across the board. That's not just a Phoenix problem. All right, I finally got my iPhone open and got to my my just added list. I always forget what the heck that button's called. It says just added. Oh, this is interesting. Look, they got a fence up on the right to where you can't. Oh no, you can use the sidewalk. You just can't use the little access road. It's the bridge. It's so weird to me how Central is just closed right now. I mean, the underpass is there, but it's just closed under the underpass. Guess I figure it's better just head off traffic on the other side of the underpass rather than once it gets into downtown. Yeah, looks like First Avenue going northbound is open, but down to one lane. Yeah, so it's as I showed in one of my other videos, adjacent to Patriot Square, that block of Central is going to be all pedestrian. Like, it's closed right now, but it looks like when it's opened up, it's going to be all light rail station and pedestrian with no through traffic. So I'm awfully curious to see what's going to happen with northbound Central traffic. I mean, that's kind of been like the major thoroughfare forever, you know, from South Central Phoenix on up. I'm just wondering if, you know, at this point there's really not much traffic on Central going south of downtown, just because it's a giant construction zone due to the light rail going in. So I'm wondering if that's just going to end up how it is, like if that being reduced to just one lane. I think it's going to be reduced to one lane of travel each way. That's probably going to be enough to just dissuade it from being a thoroughfare. So I don't see there being too much traffic on it when it's no longer under construction. I think when you get into downtown, that one lane of traffic ain't going to be much. Boy, it sure used to be. That used to be the cruising strip. That was the road to cruise. All the way from like Camelback to South Mountain. I miss those days of cruising. All right, about to enter the zone. By the way, I was wanting to read my. So yeah, Death Cab for Cutie, Debbie Gibson. Oh, Night Ranger. I was trying to remember who the hell else I added. Yeah, I added 2 songs from Night Ranger, The Secret of My Success and Sentimental Street. Kind of surprised I've gone all this time without having a track for Sentimental Street. That was a really big hit back in the day. All right, so we're entering the zone. I see some tents on the left. Oh, and here's where we hit the tents. I'm on Jackson Street, by the way. And here are the tents. So I don't know if I'll get it done tomorrow, but I'm definitely this week. Oh yeah, I see some people up and about. If I don't do it tomorrow, oh, look at this caravan. That's bizarre. A bicycle, pushing a cart, pulling a wheelchair. There's a person in the wheelchair. That's bizarre. It's hilarious. It's really bizarre. I think there's a meat processing plant on the right there, Farmer John. I'm not sure if they're still actively using it though. It's got neat murals on it, I'll give it that. So on the left, through here is the Homeless Services Campus, which includes Cash Shelter. Oh my God, look at all these tents. This encampment is insane. Zombies in front of me. I gotta keep moving or they'll approach my window and I don't want that. Wow, this is crazy. Andre House on the right, they serve dinner. I think like 5 or 6 nights a week. Back when I was homeless, I used to come there every day for dinner. It was always a good dinner. But yeah, right after dinner, I got on the Red Line bus and got the hell out of here. And it was nowhere near this bad then, but it was bad enough I didn't want to be here. God, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if they didn't leave so much trash everywhere. Although, yeah, and I'm seeing dumpsters that have been placed. So there are facilities for these people to throw their trash away. They just choose not to. Turning left on Madison. Tents on the right here. Some fool parked on the wrong side of the street with his headlights on. That bugs me to no end. An open trunk. If I had to turn left there, that's the entrance to the campus, the enclosed there, which has got numerous different agencies and stuff to help the homeless, but the biggest one being Cash Shelter. And of course, those gates are closed by this time of night. There's no going in this time of night. Crossing 13th Avenue. It always seems to end right here at 13th Avenue. I guess nobody wants, I don't even know if either the city runs people off or if just nobody wants to be in front of the graves. Because like right now I'm cutting through a historic cemetery. Not that y'all can see it, but if I'm cutting through a historic cemetery. And yeah, there's never any, I never see any tents or homeless people. Like they just stop there at 13th Avenue. Now, one thing I've kind of complained about, I've mentioned in several of my videos where I'm talking about the homelessness crisis here, is how it's funny when I see local news channels such as 12 or 15th Avenue right now, by the way, like Channel 10, Channel 12, Channel 15, trying to do coverage of the homelessness crisis, and they always say that the zone is on Jefferson. Well, I just turned right on Jefferson. The 2 streets that I went down, Jackson and Madison, as you saw, they're just lined with tents, and there's just all kinds of homeless people. But I'm sure you noticed there was really nobody driving through. There were some parked vehicles, but wasn't anybody, through traffic. Now this street here, this is Jefferson. I sure hope it's a bicycle over there, because there should be no headlights coming at me on this street. There's somebody riding the bicycle the wrong way on a one-way street, which is fine. I support that. Yeah, I can definitely see tents on the street to the right, but as you notice, there's no tents along Jefferson. Jefferson is the only like major street that goes adjacent to the zone. Again, I can turn right here on that street. You can see tents to the right, but never ever any tents on Jefferson. I don't think the city lets it happen. I think if anybody tries to pitch a tent on Jefferson, the cops tell them to get over the side streets. Now that street there, oh yeah, right up to the corner of Jefferson. Now it used to be there was never anything past Madison, so you'd never see it on Jefferson. But I am seeing it on Jefferson today. Not like on Jefferson, but right up to Jefferson on the right. Anyway, I do think it's a disservice when these channels say that, you know, it's the zone and then they say it's on Jefferson. It is definitely not on Jefferson. It is on Madison and Jackson. Going south on the what the hell's that on the road? Going south on 7th Avenue right now. This goes over all the old train yards. Of course, there really aren't any train yards under here anymore. I remember when I was a kid, these were active train yards. But yeah, they don't really use freight train the way they used to anymore. There's not much going on with trains in downtown Phoenix anymore. And slowly the areas where the tracks were getting sold off to developers and infill developments going on. There's a lot of brand new like luxury apartments going off, and it's probably hard to see it in my video, but being built on the whoa, what the fuck is that fool doing in the road? There's some guy on the wrong side of the street going northbound in the traffic lane directly at me with no lights on. He's lucky I didn't hit him. But yeah, that area there's a lot of luxury apartments going in, and it's a real sketchy area when you get on the side of the tracks. So I again, like that last video I did when I was showing that new, I'm gonna call it the hobo development on 27th Avenue. This has got to be another one where they probably have a really good website. And people are like, oh look, it's located downtown. What a convenient, great location. And they get these apartments for like probably $2,500 a month, and then find out that it's so sketchy that they can't even walk outside the gate. Wow, there's a coinless laundry right there. Trying to make a note of like where all the coinless laundries are, since I always have money on my coinless laundry card. It's 11:39. I should start motivating myself towards work. So anyway, as I was saying, and I kind of got sidetracked. Yeah, if not tomorrow, definitely on Wednesday or Thursday, I want to try to get to the clerk of court's office, which, by the way, I drove right next to right before I got into the zone, and I was there on pay attention, I'm getting on the freeway here. Getting on the old I-25, or sorry, not I-25, I-17. I've been watching videos about Denver. I got Denver on the brain. The old I-17, going to go through what's known as the Maricopa Curve. Original plans for the freeways here at Phoenix included called this the Maricopa Freeway, and I think it's still called the Maricopa Freeway if you look at the access roads down below, and called the I-17 on the other side of the, or sorry, I said Maricopa Curve, I meant Durango Curve. Durango Curve is by Durango Street, and near Durango Street Jail. But yeah, I used to this piece of freeway was called the Maricopa Freeway, and then I-17, which would go around the corner, was always called still is the Black Canyon Freeway. But initially there were plans where the Durango Curve is for there to be a freeway interchange with this freeway continuing on westbound. And those plans got scrapped a long time ago. But I do remember an ADOT planning map that had that on it. That was supposed to be the routing of I-10. Going through the Durango Curve right now. And yeah, the design of the Maricopa and the design of the Black Canyon completely different. With the Maricopa being all elevated, and then the Black Canyon being submerged, like right there on ground level. And I always thought that was kind of neat, like right there when you're coming out the other direction, as you can see, it goes up and then it becomes elevated, like starts to be elevated right here, and then it all submerges right here to go underneath. I believe this is Grand Street. Oh no, Buckeye Road. Next one is Grant Street. Anyway, sorry I keep getting sidetracked by like what I'm driving by. But anyway, what I was going to say is this week I want to get down to the clerk of court's office, which I just drove past on Jackson Street right before I entered the zone, like right before I went into the under the underpass. It's the building on the left. I did have someone tell me, you could just get that shit online, and yeah, that makes a pretty bold assumption that I actually have a PC at home, which I don't. The only computers I have at home are my Obama phone and my iPhone 7 Plus. Like, that's it. So a lot of those kind of websites just don't work well on mobile devices. I mean, I could probably figure out how to do it, but I don't know. Personally, I just kind of enjoy actually going down to the clerk of court's office and sitting down on their computers that they have for public use and browsing, and then browsing the documents, and then if I see one that's of particular interest to me, going ahead and paying for it. Yeah, it's 50 cents it's 50 cents a page. It does get a little pricey, but I don't know. I enjoy actually having hard copies and reading actual paper pleadings as opposed to just scrolling through stuff online. I don't get to use this ramp hardly ever. Northbound I-17 to the westbound I-10. I kind of dig how it's got the I-10 above me and the 17 below me. It's kind of neat, and the driving through the multi-tiered. Kind of a fun ramp. I should drive that more often. But yeah, I do intend to get that, and if I don't read the whole thing to y'all, I will at least read it myself and give y'all the highlights of it. And it's probably going to be a lot better for the people that watch my channel than me just reading the whole thing from beginning to end verbatim, because I expect it's going to be a pretty lengthy pleading. But yeah, the suspense is killing me to see what Phoenix's justification, the zone, the giant homeless encampment that I just drove through. See Phoenix's justification for not cleaning their streets. And from what I gather, like the other places that I see homeless encampments popping up, and then the people that have disappearing, most recently Griffith Park. I think it's called Griffith Park. I don't know, I forget. I'm so bad with names. But the park on 32nd Street, just south of Thomas. Yeah, its homeless population has gone down dramatically since it was featured on several local TV news segments, and I'm sure that it being featured on those news segments probably had Mayor Kate's office going, oh shit, this makes me look bad. This makes me look bad. That's on the internet. That gets out there. It looks bad, and probably just sent the police to scurry those people down to the zone. Because the zone's not on a major street or in a park, or where it's not a place where normal people go. But yeah, the population in the zone just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and Phoenix doing nothing about that. Now, I did have one of my regular viewers left a comment on a recent video where I was talking about this, and he said that he had heard of Phoenix police officers actually giving homeless people rides from that park to the zone. In defense of the police officers, I doubt that they gave them a ride to the zone per se, as in the officer's mind, he was probably felt he was giving that person a ride to Cass Shelter. It's like, hey, I'll give you a ride down to the shelter. It's kind of weird, like what happens in the zone. So many of those people are probably getting, free rides down, quote unquote, to Cass Shelter. But then once they get there, instead of going into Cass Shelter, they just, loiter around in all the homeless encampments there. In defense of those homeless people, I have heard, I've never stayed in Cass Shelter, but I have heard so many horror stories about the shelter. And enough that when I was homeless, I never once made any attempt to stay there. In fact, the only shelter I actually tried to get into was UMOM Family Shelter, which I think is like 3333 East Van Buren. And they turned me down because I didn't have custody of my daughter Allison, which at the time was, she was like 2.5 years old. And I didn't have custody of her 24/7. And their response to me, they're like, "Oh, we can't put you guys up here because she's not with you all the time." I'm like, "Well, she's with me 3 days a week. She needs shelter those 3 days a week." And the worker there was like, "Yeah, well, why don't you just have her stay with her mom all the time?" Like, I fought so hard to keep in my daughter's life and to be a father to her, and their response is, "Why don't you just have her stay with her mom?" Really? You want to deprive this little girl of her father? And I said that. I said, "Well, so your solution is to deprive this girl of her father." I said, "Do you tell mothers? Do you tell mothers to give their kids to their fathers, to the kids' fathers? Or you just save that bullshit for the men?" And she just looked at me like I'd slapped her in the face when I asked her that question, the worker. At that point, I was like, come on, baby, we gotta go. And I just picked up Allison and we left. But yeah, that was the only shelter I ever attempted to get into, and that's how that didn't work out for me. So. This is 83rd Avenue. 75th Avenue, I mean. I do hate I can't really read the street signs like this at a distance anymore. My vision is just not what it used to be. I still feel comfortable driving, because cars are big, lanes are big. I can see lines on the street. My depth perception is still good. But yeah, street signs and direction signs at a distance are kind of blurry to me. By the time I get close enough to read them, a lot of times it's, if I needed to read them, it's too late. For the most part, I navigate the valley by memory. Anyway, yeah, dying to see Phoenix's justification for letting the zone be as awful as it is. I mean, straight up, if a private property owner allows that much trash to be on their property, the city will cite them and fine them. So, it seems inappropriate that the city can't hold itself to the same standard that it holds its property owners. And taxpayers. So I was trying to touch on the thing with my air conditioning. So on Friday, my initial plan was I think y'all saw maybe you saw the video on Thursday morning. I went by Rob's shop and then I left. Yeah, I pretty much told me that he did not have the part he needed for my air conditioning. It's an electrical relay. Told me he didn't have the part to come back tomorrow morning. Now, granted, I didn't get there until around noon, but usually morning for him means around 8 a.m. sometime between. I don't know. He's not very consistent about when he gets in there anymore, but generally it's between 7 and 9. But yeah, I got there about noon on Friday, and he just straight up wasn't there. Didn't shoot video. I didn't shoot any videos on Friday, but yeah, he wasn't there. Haven't heard from him all weekend. Try to reconnect with him tomorrow or the next day. I said tomorrow might be good. That might actually work out pretty well for me because I slept really good today, so I should be awake quite a ways into tomorrow. That might work out really good for what to do after work. Especially since I won't have Priscilla distracting me, since she's completely moved all of her work stuff to her own apartment, so she won't be. My home is no longer her work from home location. Thank God. She did at least help me with my internet payment for this month, so that was nice. But yeah, she'll be. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I can hopefully get my car to Rob's in the morning for him to work on the air conditioning, and then take the bus downtown, get those pleadings, responsive pleading to the lawsuit against the city of Phoenix over the conditions in the zone by the local property owners and business owners, and take transit back home. Oh, something I might do. I don't know. My plans are open to change at any given moment. Okay, so wow, it's 11:51. Oh, look at this guy. He doesn't look like he's doing 5 miles an hour. It's probably actually 11:52 or maybe 11:53. Yikes! I'm just gonna have to run in and clock in right away, which is fine. I did take a little run, maybe a couple hours before I started this video. I don't know, maybe around 9 o'clock, quarter to 9. I went to Arby's, got a couple euros, got a couple of beef and cheddars. Gave one of the euros to Priscilla and got my sip and save drink. And then, ironically, she bought me I guess it didn't occur to her that I'd probably get my own drink while I was out, so she bought me a 32-ounce Big Gulp 7-Eleven Mountain Dew as well, which is fine. Drank that on the road right into work, and that was nice. Anyway, gotta wrap this up because I'm here and I need to get my ass in and clock in. But thanks for coming with me on the ride. Hope you enjoyed the distraction, and like and subscribe. I'll be back with more videos of me wandering around and yammering on about nothing of importance.